So welcome back, my name is Lee. We do a lot of from scratch cooking. I also like to save a lot of money as well. So I got some Scotch fillet on sale for just under $25 a kilo, and we're going to turn it into delicious $7 steaks, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So the thing with Australia is, even though we export so much of our beef and we grow so much of it, our beef is so expensive. So every time I see something on special, I like to jump on it. Now, I live in the country 4 hours from Melbourne. So every time I go to Melbourne, I try jump on some specials. So I just want to show how I jump on these specials and how I can actually make it work. So while I was in Melbourne, I got some bulk Scotch fillet on sale. This was just under $25 a kilo from Suckers, and I'm going to turn them into delicious thick steaks. And it should be about $7 a steak, which is really good compared to like all these other ones that you get in the actual supermarket. So the way I hunt around is I follow a few supermarkets in the area that I stay in, and I check for specials, and if there's any good specials, I will go and jump on them. So this was $24.88 a kilo, which is really good compared to the supermarkets. I think it's about $46 a kilo in Woolworths and Coles. And I did find another place that was $22.99 a kilo as well, which was actually just opposite as well. But when you're looking at these steaks, you want something nice and consistent. So it's got a bit of girth to it as well. And the ones I saw at this other place were probably half the thickness, which just was not appealing and wouldn't go great as a steak. So I paid a little bit extra, but you can get cheaper as well. Now, I understand the price of beef has gone up a little bit. Last year, I did manage to get Scotch fillet for $15 a kilo, which was absolutely amazing. And I still have one more steak in my freezer left over from that. Those steaks actually taste absolutely amazing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out the packet. I'm going to wipe it down, get all the excess blood off it, and then we're going to trim off any flaky bits, and then we're going to show you the next step. So when you're looking at buying your Scotch fillet in bulk, it's also called cube roll, and it's also called ribeye. Now, the things that you want to look at is a nice consistent piece as it goes thickness all the way around. So I think that is decent for a steak. You don't want it too flat, and it's a nice long consistent piece. And I brought 2 of these because stock up on steaks, because that is probably the most expensive part of my actual diet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out of the packet one at a time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a knife and just cut off any of these parts that are like already ready to come off. Because these aren't usually properly trimmed or anything when you get them in the packet like this. And you just want to just check for some extra bits that you don't want. That part should probably be okay. Right, the rest of it looks pretty good. So I'm going to leave it like this. So I'm just going to put this one aside, and I'm going to get onto the other one. Hello, Felix. Do you smell beef? There you go. That'll keep him busy for a while. And again, for the second one, I'm just going to go over and just take off any hangy bits of fat. Just to make it just look a little more presentable, but I think we're actually pretty good here as well. So what I have here is just some cling wrap here, and what I'm going to do is, to make it easy to actually slice this, I'm going to actually wrap this up, and I'm going to make it really tight so that when we slice it, then it's going to keep everything nice and all together and everything, and nice and firm. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this into a freezer. And what that will do is it'll kind of like solidify some of this just a little bit, just so it makes it a lot easier to slice. So I'm going to leave it in for maybe an hour or something like that. So what I'm going to do is just kind of get it as tight as I can. And we're just going to keep twisting these ends until we get it nice and tight. So I'm just gonna put these in the freezer for about an hour. It's just gonna help them firm up a little bit. It's gonna make it so much easier to actually slice. So I find these specials are around December and January, and I think it's to do with Christmas, considering everyone's buying their turkey, they're doing a roast pork, they're doing chickens. Not a lot of people do like a rib roast or anything like that with an expensive piece. So I find a lot of these specials, especially for bulk buys of Scotch fillet, go down, and you're going to get a good deal around December and January. So take your time and go through a few butchers, go on their Facebook groups, follow them, and see if they've got some good specials, and just jump on them. And you're going to save so much money over the next year. And so with these, I am going to vacuum seal them, so they'll last all year, absolutely no problems in my freezer. So as you can see, the light has changed a little bit. I decided to go shopping while they were in the freezer, and I usually do my shopping every 10 days. I'm going to stretch it for 2 weeks because I don't want to go into town between Christmas and New Year's because we're a tourist town, so it's going to be busy. So I avoid it at all costs. So I've taken these out the freezer. They've thawed out just a little bit. And here's our other one here. And it's just firmed up a bit. It's just going to make it a lot easier to actually slice as well. So I like my steaks about 1 inch thick. Usually you can't get anything like that in the supermarkets. Usually they're about a 3/4 or 1/2 inch thick. They're thin, they cook up in no time, and they're not great. So I'm going to cut these into about 1 inch steaks, and they're going to turn out absolutely amazing. So I don't know if you can tell if this one's been cut at a bit of an angle. So it's been cut just slightly on an angle, and I'm just going to follow that just to make it a bit easier on myself, or else I'm going to have an offcut here and an offcut here. Usually not an issue for me, but for safety's sake, for the sake of it, I'm just going to make it easier that way. So I'm going to cut these about 1 inch thick. So what I'm going to do is I've got a sharp knife here, just a standard knife. You don't need a boning knife or anything. And I'm just going to cut through the plastic. The plastic is just going to keep it all together. All right, and there's our first steak. You know, obviously, it's going to depend on what you're going to. If you like their meat and everything. So far, it looks okay. It could have a little bit more marbling, and that's the only thing that you do risk with getting a full steak, is that there is a chance that it's going to be not the best, 100% best quality, but usually when you get a budget steak, usually it's something like the marbling's not probably perfect on this one. Still good though. I know it's still going to taste amazing. All right, and then for our second one, I'm going to do it very similar. This one is a little bit more squarer, so it's going to be just a little bit easier. So I'm going to start here. So how many steaks do we get? So I'm going to count these as just one piece because they'll the end pieces. I'm going to eat them tonight. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 15 steaks out of it, which is absolutely amazing. These steaks are a little bit smaller than the other ones that I had, but they're going to still taste absolutely amazing. So I ran the calculations, and altogether we got 15 steaks, and dividing by the cost, it costs us $6 per steak, which I think is pretty amazing for just a standard meal. I don't have steak like every week or anything like that. I might have one every couple of weeks, and this is just going to be just a really good meal just to have every now and then. So now I'm going to actually vacuum seal all these, and then we're going to cook some dinner. So if you're thinking about keeping stuff in your freezer for a long term, I really think you should invest in a vacuum sealer. So I just have a Nova vacuum sealer that I got on a really good sale, which has done pretty good for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to vacuum seal these into individual steaks, and then I can just pull one from the freezer. And I've got steaks that are a year old and they're still perfectly fine. So as long as you vacuum seal them properly and everything, it's still going to last a long time in your freezer. All right, so using the vacuum sealer, pretty easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a decent length out. We don't want to take too much out. I was considering going the other way, but I don't think that's going to work. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to seal the end. All right, so that's sealed now. I can add our steak in it. And I keep a tray up here so it's level with the actual sealer. Just makes it a little bit easier, so it's not putting so much stress on the bag. Make sure it's in the chamber properly, or else what's going to happen is it's not going to be able to suck all the air out. We're going to close it. And what I do always is I always do a pulse vacuum. I'm going to suck all the air out and make sure that it's going to stay like that, and then I'll do a pulse on vacuum seal. Right, so I know that will seal now. So now I'm going to go vacuum and seal, and it's going to seal automatically. And there we go. That's one steak done. Let's get the rest done. And there we go, 15 wonderful steaks ready for the freezer so that we can enjoy a steak whenever we want. And we don't have to worry about penny pinching too much because these only cost $6 each. And they might not look 100% consistent or anything like that, but you got to keep in mind, we're just cooking for ourselves. We're not cooking in a restaurant or anything like that. You can go to a steakhouse and pay your $45 for a steak and get it all perfect and everything. We're cooking for ourselves, so the steak doesn't have to look perfect. Obviously it needs to taste good, but it doesn't need to be 100% consistent, in my opinion anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cook some steak up for dinner, and we're going to try it out to see how it is. So for dinner tonight, I'm going to do some of the offcuts of the steak. So there's 2 small pieces there. I'm going to have that. I'm just going to season it just normally, just with some salt and pepper, just so we can taste the real flavour of it. I'm going to do some sweet potato fries in the air fryer, and also just some grilled asparagus. Asparagus grilled on the barbecue tastes absolutely amazing. So I've just peeled my sweet potato, and I'm just going to cut it into like chips. Now, unfortunately, I've never got sweet potatoes actually crispy in the air fryer. If you have a way, I'd love to know. But I've tried everything, corn flour, potato starch, all that, it's never worked. So I've just got these in a bowl. I'm going to add just some olive oil, some salt, pepper, and then also I've just got some Cajun seasoning. This is a homemade one, I just used a container for it. Give that a good toss. And then I'm going to get this onto the air fryer tray, and we're going to bake this at about 190 degrees for about 20 minutes. So to prep my asparagus, I always just cut off about 1.5 inches off the bottom. And then all I do is just put a bit of oil onto it and a bit of salt. And that's it for that one. And then for our steaks, I'm just going to go with some oil. It's just the olive oil spray. Love this thing. And we're just going to get very simple salt and pepper, just so we can taste it and see how it actually really is. As I said, these are just offcuts, so they're not the prettiest, but I'm sure they're going to taste amazing still. All right, so just waiting for the grill to heat up and then we'll take it outside. All right, so here's our dinner. We've got our grilled asparagus, our sweet potato chips, and our wonderful steak. Now, I have to be honest, I ran out of gas on my barbecue, so I had to do a little sin and finish the steak off on the stove, which I really hate doing. But let's give this steak a go. I've got it cooked about a medium, a bit over medium rare now, so I like cooking all my steaks medium now. Overall, I think it's a decent quality steak. When you get it in the actual packs and everything, it's never going to be 100% consistent or anything like the ones you get from the butcher shop or anything like that. And it just shows something that might not look the most appealing, still does taste absolutely amazing. So I hope you do a bit of searching, check a local butcher shop, check some Facebook groups, check some Facebook pages, and see who's doing specials and everything, and just jump on them. Because I think beef is going to be one of those things where it's going to be cheap for these couple of months. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.